Alright, welcome back to, I think this is going to be one of the final videos. This will at least get done with the majority of the stuff, and then you guys can finish modeling the rest that you need to. So what we're going to do today is make a curve and intersect that curve with this so it's not flat, so it creates some more geometry. If you're using the Pro version, which you're going to have to use these extensions anyway, try to make this a solid. If not, it's not a big deal, but you want it to be. It's easier if you can use solid tools, but we can try to use other tools. So, how do I want to do this? I'm going to look at the right side of this. Never mind, I guess the right side's not what I want. What side do I want? The back or the front? I want the front. Okay, so I'm going to look at the front and I'm going to turn parallel projection on, so it's just looking straight at the object. This is the nose over here. So usually in another CAD software such as SolidWorks or Fusion 360 or Inventor, if you wanted to draw something to intersect with this, you'd need another sketch plane, because for example, if I were to just take an arc, I'm going to draw an arc right along here and I'm going to bring it up, that looks pretty good like that, and see what happens. If we move the camera, that's not at all in the same plane. It's like all scatty-wampus. So we kind of have to do the same thing. Make a sketch plane that sits in front of it and draw on top of that. So I'm going to kind of go back right here for right now. T for tape measure to at least get my guide on there. Rectangle tool, and I'm going to bring it along the green axis. I'm going to make it green and I'm going to force it along. Okay, never mind. Didn't want to do that. I'm going to force it along like this. Actually, we might want to make that a component so it doesn't interfere with it. Left arrow for along the green. We're going to make it a little long, like this. Everything there is a component. Okay. Triple click that. Move it along red until it intersects. And then we're going to move it along green, and then I guess it obviously intersected with something that it shouldn't have, which is all of this business right here. So let's make that another component. Let's get it out of the way too. Triple click, move this right there, and then we're going to move it to the front to right about there, where it's not pushing through, but it's just kind of touching. Okay, now we're going to go back to the front view again. Now the whole point of this is if you hit X-ray, we can kind of see our mask. So I'm going to get the arc tool, A for arc, 48 sides, and hopefully with the video recording software it works. So what I want to do, you'll notice how it says on face when I'm making something, but when I get to here it says endpoint and group. If I were to actually do this, and if you were to see how it's gone through, we don't want that. So shift is the key that you want to hold. So if I click here, see the gray line, if I hold it, it should be constrained on plane from point. So I'm going to click right here, and then I'm going to kind of move it along. Oh, I didn't want to click there, but what we're trying to do I'll show you what we're trying to do. Along that face, we want about right there. And it still didn't do it. Why? See, it can get a little tricky doing this. You want to hold shift, constrain on plane. Oh yeah, you want to continue to hold shift, don't let go, till you get something like that. There we go. That's what we wanted. Okay, and then you're going to hold shift again. And I want something, I don't know, something about like that. Click twice. Then I'm going to make sure it's on the plane. This time I'm not holding shift because I can go outside of this. And I'm going to go right about there. Click twice. Now I have this weird looking curve shape. So I'm going to turn X-ray off. And I want to connect, actually I'm going to turn X-ray back on, go to the front view, connect this, kind of make a, delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to turn X-ray off, and I'm going to push-pull this through. I'm going to make it a group. Hopefully it's a solid. It is. Now I'm going to use solid tools. Actually, I need to move it down till this is at least somewhat. I'm going to turn X-ray on. Right about there. Okay, turn X-ray off. And then I'm going to use the trim command so it keeps my cutting tool. I think that's this one. Trim that from this. Then do its operation. Then I'm going to go ahead and hide that one. And now you can kind of see we don't need that. We've kind of made some contours in the mask that will fit our face better. This will go over our nose, around our chin, and around our cheeks. It looks terrible, but it's just proof of concept. So you guys can make it any way you want. But now let's say one of them, let's say this was not a solid. How could we make this work? Well, it's actually not too bad. So I'm going to actually delete all my guides so I can see. I'm going to go in this group and double click the faces. Control. Cut. Back out. Delete the group. And then edit. Paste in place. Okay, so that puts that like this. I'm going to reverse the faces because I'm picky that way. Okay, this operation can be a bit slow for some laptops like mine. It takes like 7 minutes. But what you're going to want to do is, let's triple click that. I'm going to soften it. There we go. Okay, now that it's softened, I'm going to cut it again. I'm going to go inside the group and I'm going to go edit, paste in place. Then I'm going to look at it from this side and I'm going to left click and drag so it's the dashed line. First turn on hidden geometry. because I don't want all the geometry selected. I only want that much. And you're going to go right click, intersect faces with selection. Now this can take its time. So, well, that time it didn't. Okay, pretty nice. Now you're going to just come in here and delete. You can't just double click it and delete it, because then that just makes everything jagged. See that? You've got to be gentle and delete. Easy does it. Now this one you can, because nothing else is touching it. You can just delete that, and then delete each individual. You could use the eraser tool. And then this we could hide. Is that an actual in outliner? Yeah, the ring. We can hide that. And there you go. It's a group. Doesn't say it's solid, but we could figure out what's going on. External face is 93. Oh, duh, that's because there's this giant mesh on the top. Haha. Look at that. Now it's a solid. See, we did pretty good. So that's one way. If the original piece wasn't a solid, you can intersect the faces that way and do the same thing as solid tools. Just takes some time. And now if you wanted to, you could I don't know, make a circular rod, put it through here and here, subtract it out, and then you have holes for your elastics and stuff. But anyway, that is how you do that. Now I wanted to show you one thing. Did you notice when I went this way, see the dashed arrows? Okay, if I go to view hidden geometry, just so we can see it, dashed arrows selects that. But if you do it the other way, notice it's solid lines. See, on that one side. But if I just do solid lines there, it does do different things, believe you me. It does. Like view hidden geometry. Let's go inside. See how it selects the face and everything, but if I come around like this, it'll only select edges. I think this one is edge select. See that? Look how nifty. So, just a cool little thing. But anyways, now we've made a mask. Now I'm going to sit here and marvel at it. Anyways, thanks for watching, and have fun making things. This is 3D printable. Last time I did it, I printed one, including the grid and everything, in 2.5 hours on my CR10. And that was at 0.24 layer height, and it's 60 millimeters per second. So, it doesn't take too long. You could print it in flexible TPU, but I don't recommend that. I recommend PLA or PLA Plus. And if you want it soft around the face, you can actually go buy some 100% silicone caulk and just caulk a bead right around it. Makes it nice and easy. So, yeah. Anyways, happy modeling, and we'll see you on the flip side.